Hi, this is Lee Searle. I wrote Find Your Selfie, and I wanted to give an explanation as to why I wrote it. And it's going to be kind of a long story and slightly convoluted story, but it's the story nonetheless. So, I wrote Find Your Selfie because I felt the need to share with other people the practices that I did for myself to be able to really kind of discover who I was, what I wanted out of life, and really kind of gain an appreciation for who I was, and through that get greater self-confidence and greater self-esteem. And I'm not sure when my whole lack of self-confidence started, and I've probably always had it. Some people are just naturally born with it. Some people are natural leaders. Some people are naturally have the amazing ability to have this self-confidence, and some people don't. Some people have to train themselves to be more self-confident and step into those leadership roles. And as you can see, I am in my car, and the reason why I'm in my car is because I feel really stupid, first of all, making this video, but I feel like it's important. So I need to find a space that I'm comfortable in and that it's kind of private at my house. My husband might walk in and be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's awkward for me," because my imaginary audience, that's me. So here I am in my car trying to explain this to you because this is a safe place for me. So anyway, a pivotal moment for me, and one that sticks with me and still pretty much haunts my dreams, is I was in 7th grade, and we were outside at recess. I know we still had recess in 7th grade, and we were all in line to come back in, and there's like 400 some people in my class. It wasn't a huge school, but it wasn't tiny either, so 400's a lot in my mind. And we're all in line in the parking lot to go back into school, and these kids run all the way up and down the length of the line to go back into school. And as they're running up and down this line, they're like, "Lee's butt is as big as this line." Not a great thing to have happen. I did not grow up in Kim Kardashian world. I wish I would have, because maybe then things would have been different, but I didn't, and that stuck with me, and that was really challenging. And of course, then lots of tears stemmed from that, because it's not like I was loud or noisy or I don't know, like, it just, that's something that, like, that was me, and I'm sorry, like, and I got made fun of for it, and it wasn't something I could change to, and it wasn't like I was being nasty to somebody. So anyway, then another time I was in high school, and I remember another group of kids saying, "Me like, Lee's so flat, the walls, I bet, are jealous." Oh, so I mean, that stinks too. And those are tough things to hear as an adult and as a kid. And so those are just two things that I've had happen to me, and I know lots of kids have had lots and lots and lots of things happen to them as well, and it's not fun. And part of this is that I want people to know that they're not alone in this, and that we've all kind of experienced something like that, and growing up is hard and it's not fun. And I think even more challenging in growing up is the fact that we're lost. We just don't know which direction to take. And that's another reason I wrote Find Your Selfie, is because I was in, my late 30s until I figured out really what it was that I loved doing. After college, I went to college, and ended up, after school, I was lobbying for some people, and I loved doing that. I loved being an advocate for someone else. Like, that was super fun to me. Then I met, my husband, who we went to high school together, but we met after, started dating afterwards. And he was in the military, and, before I knew it, I was living in Germany and all over the place, and we'd move every couple years. And in the military community, it's a little bit different than a normal community. Is that whenever you walk in somewhere, wherever you go, you're identified through your spouse. They'll ask, like, you register for something, what's your spouse's name, what's his social, what's his information, and then after that, what's your information. And so as you move and as you go through these things, you sort of get lost in the shuffle because you're following your spouse around, which is great, and which is what we all signed up to do. But part of that is very difficult personally, to constantly be going through that. And for me, the lack of just really understanding and knowing who I was, like, who am I? Like, yes, I am Jeffrey Searle's spouse, but at the same, like, I'm Lee, and I need to figure this out because I'm tired of being lost. And so I wrote Find Your Selfie, and really pared it down to just a few simple things that people could do at a younger age, or at any age really, but my goal is to get it to kids that are younger, so that they don't have to be and go through everything I experienced, that maybe they can practice these tricks earlier on and have get to where they want to be a lot faster than I did. But this also goes for people that are in their 20s and 30s, 40s, whatever. It does speak a broader range, but if we could get kids involved in this earlier, that would be awesome. So I guess just the real reason I did write this is because, number one, I think it's important to know who you are as a person, like your personality, why you do certain things, like why you're sitting in your car to do this video versus like outside. That's because that's who I am, and that's my comfort zone. And I'm okay with that. Like, and I want to be who I am and not someone else. Like, I'm not the person to be up on the stage doing that. Like, that just makes me sweat thinking about it. Versus like someone like my husband, he loves that stuff. He'll get out there and do all of that. Like, but that's okay because we're different and we will thrive in our own space. Number two is just knowing also your personality, but how you identify yourself. What are your traits and your values and your morals? Like, what do you believe in and why do you believe in that? Like, if you believe in something, that's great. Whatever it is, go after it. Like, because that means something to you. And don't go after something because someone else likes it. Because in the end, it's not going to mean anything and you're not going to achieve it because that's not what you believe. That's what someone else believes. And then, the third thing is be passionate about something. Like, whatever it is, whether it's, figure out what you love to do when you're just hanging out. Everyone says that. You talk to any CEO, gazillionaire, they'll say, what we do isn't work. What we do is our passion. And when you sit down and you think about your life and what you're doing during the day, how do you spend your time? Like, okay, let's remove Snapchat and Instagram. All right. Well, okay. No, let's talk about Instagram for a second. When you're looking at videos, what are you looking at? Are you looking at art videos? Are you looking at fashion? Are you looking at sports? Like, what are the things that you think about in your free time? And just start distilling that because that means something, like if you're just sitting outside on a park, not doing anything, what are you daydreaming about? Focus on that because that's important. And then another thing is just looking inside instead of out. Holy cow. At an early age, I stopped watching reality shows because I was always, I wish I could look like them. I wish I could have money like them. I wish I drove the cars that they drove. I want to be on that private jet. I want all those things. And I still kind of want all those things. But me watching that made myself feel badly about myself. Like, I still want all those things because I think they're kind of fun and cool, but I don't watch them because other people do it because it makes me feel bad about myself and that I'm not achieving those things, or, you know, I'm not, doing those things yet. So knowing that about yourself and being able to turn that off when you need to is really important. And then the other thing is, get your self acceptance. You have to love who you are first and foremost. And understanding all those precursors and what I just talked about will help you get to that place and that space. To start believing in yourself and loving who you are, and being proud of who you are, and start just sloughing off the naysayers and just starting to ignore the critics, because holy moly, they're out there and they will bring you down any chance they can get, and they will. And I don't know why necessarily that is, but it is what it is. So those are just some key things. Someone just stopped next door with their pooch. Key things as to why I wrote what I wrote and why I believe what I believe. And the highlight reel of me and some really embarrassing things about myself. But it makes me who I am. And all of those things make me want to help other people not have to necessarily go through some of those things. And maybe if you do go through them, just know that there are other people that have gone through them and are currently going through them, and there's a safe place to fall, and you're not alone. We've all truly been there, and there's light at the end of the tunnel because we've all been there. And it's just important to stay true to who you are, even if someone's beating you down and telling you, you're not worthy, or your butt's as big as a parking lot. Just shut that out and just, try and walk away from it and think about the awesome things that you do have to offer. So those are just some nuggets about me and why I did what I did. And I know it was a really long video, but I guess I just couldn't stop talking. So hope that provides you with some more insight and just understanding why it is what we're doing.